Yo, Lord aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Gouging Fire EX with that Roaring Moon EX. Kind of an ancient toolbox deck, if it were. This has been a pet deck of mine for probably the last 6 months. I've really just been tweaking the list every so often, trying to figure out when it might exist in our meta. But unfortunately, I don't think that time has come since it was good probably about a year ago. But I really wanted to make a video showcasing this deck that I've put a lot of time into and really just trying to make work, and I really wanted to show it off to you guys just kind of for fun and a send off for the cards before they rotate. Let's get into the deck list. Already here at that deck list, starting us off with that Gouging Fire EX, 230 HP fire type Pokemon. First attack, Heat Blast for 60 damage for 2 energy, and then its second attack being that Blaze Blitz for 3 energy, 260 damage. This Pokemon can't use Blaze Blitz again until it leaves the active spot. So really requiring it to kind of switch in and out, being able to, use that Blaze Blitz attack again is pretty important. Pairing this with 2 copies of Latias EX, making it so our basic Pokemon in play have no retreat cost, is very helpful. And we're playing a good amount of other things that can kind of help us switch in and out, which is very nice as well. We're playing 2 copies of the Baby Pecharunt with that Toxic Subjugation. As long as Pokemon's in the active spot, you put 5 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon during checkup if they are poisoned. Brute Bonnet with that Toxic Powder. Once during your turn, if it has an Ancient Booster Capsule attached, you can make both active Pokemon poisoned. And then, of course, we're playing the Pecharunt EX with the ability Subjugating Chains. Once during your turn, you can switch one of your benched Dark Pokemon, except Pecharunt, into the active. So that's kind of a way for us to get some extra damage in with the Brute Bonnet and the Baby Pecharunt, but also Brute Bonnet, put the Roaring Moon into play and then retreat out of it into the Gouging Fire to be able to hit for 260 again is pretty nice. And of course, we're also playing 2 copies of Munkidori because you pretty much have to play this card against Gardevoir and Dragapult and things like that. The ability Adrenaline Brain is just broken. Once during your turn, it has a Dark Energy attached. You can move 3 damage counters to one of your opponent's Pokemon. We got Fezandipiti for Flip the Script. We have Squawkabilly for the Squawk and Seize. We have Mew EX for the Restart, and the Genome Hacking is a very nice attack in a pinch. And it's a great pivot Pokemon as well. Then we also, of course, have the Baby Gouging Fire. First attack, 30 damage, lunge out for 30 damage. Isn't great. However, its second attack, Blazing Charge for 3 energy, 100 plus. If your opponent has 4 or fewer prizes remaining, this attack does 70 more damage. It's a really good single prize attacker into a lot of the decks in the meta, which is nice. For our supporter count, we got 4 Professor Sawdust Vitality. This is going to be our Energy Acceleration and our draw support in this deck. Being able to choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon, attach an energy from your discard pile to each of them, and so on and so forth, which is really nice. Draw Engine and an Energy Acceleration as well. 2 copies of Arven, 2 copies of Boss, 1 copy of Iona, 1 copy of Kiren. Being able to switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, but then you can also make it so during this turn, your attacks will do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX, which is really nice. For the items, we got 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Nest Ball, 3 Energy Switch, 2 Earthen Vessel, 2 Pokegear, 2 Night Stretcher, 1 Palpad, and 1 copy of Switch. Our A-Spec is that Secret Box, being able to discard 3 other cards from our hand, then make a starter deck for an item, a tool, a supporter, and a stadium, and put them into your hand, which is really good in this deck, being able to just discard 3, get Sada, Perilous Jungle, Energy Capsule, and, you're able to just find so many pieces, which is really helpful in this deck. Being able to kind of set up quickly is really nice. For the tools, we have 3 copies of Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. You could play Binding Mochi in this deck. However, I feel like a lot of the times I end up not needing it to take a knockout. If I'm going for a big knockout, most of the time I'm going to just pivot into Roaring Moon anyway, and then just trying to, Frenzy Gouging it or something like that. Or you're also just trying to set up the poison package. There's not a lot of room in the deck. If I were to put Binding Mochi in the deck, I think I would cut the 1 copy of Kiren, or I would just go to 2 copies of Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. However, in my testing, I feel like Binding Mochi is just kind of hit or miss a lot of the times, which feels a little bad. 3 copies of that Perilous Jungle. During Pokemon Checkup, you put 2 more damage counters on each Poison non-Dark type Pokemon. And then for the energies, you get 6 Fire and 3 Dark Energy. Like I said, you can put Binding Mochi in the deck. Let me know down in the comments below what card you guys would cut for it, or if you're playing a deck similar to this, just share your list. Join the Mega Blitz Pokécove Discord and send your list there. I would love to see them. I love cooking up all these different fun decks. Let's get to the gameplay. Already here at that gameplay here at the coin flip, it is going to be tails, and our opponent is going to win the coin flip. They are going to elect to go first here, which actually works out for us. This deck, you really want to be going second. You want to try to attack first and just apply pressure as quickly as possible. It's a very fast, very aggressive deck, very much like Raging Bolt in that way, and you really just want to go quick. So we're going to start off with that Latias in the active spot here. Our opponent going to use Team Rocket's Proton, get some Pokemon into play, gonna get the 2 Murkrows, gonna get that Porygon down, Pokepad, gonna get the Honchkrow, put it in hand for the next turn. Our opponent also gonna have that Team Rocket's energy to attach as well. Now, this is a pretty hard matchup for this deck, I will say. The idea is that we're trying really hard to take big knockouts on 2 prized Pokemon and just trying to go 2-2-2 and race our opponent. However, they don't really play 2 prized Pokemon in their deck unless they're playing Rocket's Mewtwo, but they are playing that Team Rocket's Honchkrow deck. So we're in a situation where it's a pretty tough matchup, but it is still very possible. We just need to prioritize the right knockouts as fast as we can. Now, we are going to be just kind of flying through here. Got the Squawkabilly in play, got the Brute Bonnet, got the Perilous Jungle here, Secret Box, ripping through. Gonna get some fresh good cards in our hand here. Night Stretcher to get the Roaring Moon back out, put the capsule on it, attach the Dark Energy as well. Now, we do have a Sada that we grabbed off the Secret Box. I should have grabbed like Arven or something. Feels a little bad, but that's all right. We're thinning the deck, I guess, right? Ultra Ball, discard that Munkidori. Don't need that for that matchup. Get that thing out of here. Gonna get that Pecharunt in play as well. Gonna use that Toxic Powder ability. Gonna be able to retreat out of the Latias into the Pecharunt. Gonna be able to get a nice 8 damage counters onto our opponent's Team Rocket's Articuno, which is gonna be very helpful. This matchup is very difficult for us. However, you really want to lean into the Toxic Powder, Pecharunt, Perilous Jungle kind of strategy, and also using that single prize Gouging Fire is going to be very helpful as well. Really just trying to kind of even the prize trade out for us. Our opponent does have the Honchkrow in play and the Murkrow, both with energy attached, but their Team Rocket's Articuno goes down to that poison damage. So free prize card for us. Team Rocket's Honchkrow gonna come up. Now, they're kind of saying, hey, you can't knock this out. I don't think you can knock this out this turn. That's what them promoting that Honchkrow says to me. If you were gonna, you would have thrown up maybe the Porygon as kind of a throwaway Pokemon or something. But throwing up that Honchkrow just screams, you can't knock this out. I don't think you can. So we're going to try our best. We're going to Brute Bonnet, Toxic Powder here. We're going to attach the Fire Energy to our Gouging Fire. We're going to Energy Switch to that Gouging Fire. We're going to retreat out of the Pecharunt into the Gouging Fire. Heat Blast for 60. Now I'm kind of going, hey, I'm going to give you my best attacker or one of my 2 best attackers in this entire deck because I don't think you have the knockout. I don't think you can take the knockout. That's what me promoting that Gouging Fire is saying. You can't take the knockout. They have 3 cards in hand. They can't Fez even if they didn't play it or did. Doesn't matter. They're only going to get 120 damage here, which is really helpful for us. We're going to be able to go back into the Pecharunt and take the knockout on the small whim that they play Fez. 6 damage counters, 140 damage. Taking a knockout on that Honchkrow. Gonna get us to a 4-6 split. We are prioritizing the knockouts we need to take when we need to take them in the best possible way that we can. Our opponent here gonna get a Porygon in play, gonna use that Deceit attack, which is not what they want to be doing, to get a supporter out of the deck here. Now, if I can get a knockout on that Murkrow with the energy attached, we are sitting absolutely in a fantastic spot. We're gonna attach the Fire Energy after we Sada. We're going to move that Dark Energy to the Roaring Moon, setting up another attacker here. We're going to set the Toxic Powder. We don't really need to, however. We're going to go into the Gouging Fire. We're going to use that Blaze Blitz attack. Going to be able to hit for 260, taking a knockout on the Murkrow, putting us at a 3-6 split here, putting ourselves in an absolutely fabulous position. And the crazy thing about this is that we have Switch in hand. We can retreat out of this Gouging Fire into the Pecharunt, switch, Blaze Blitz again, knocking out their only Murkrow. However, they just mentioned another Murkrow. But if they put an energy on this and can't evolve it and we can take the knockout on that Murkrow or that Honchkrow, we are in an just 100% winning situation. We are already very ahead in this game, and we shouldn't be. It's a very difficult matchup for us. We don't like single prize decks. It's a little clunky. I could Ultra Ball, thin the deck a little bit, get rid of the Pecharunt EX, but I don't think we need to do that right now. I don't think it's worth it. We're going to retreat out of the Gouging Fire into the Pecharunt here. Then we're going to use Switch out of the Pecharunt back into the Gouging Fire. Blaze Blitz again for 260 damage, taking the knockout on that Murkrow, putting us at a 2-6 split. Even if my opponent were to take the knockout this following turn on this Gouging Fire, we go to a 4-2 split. However, I have Roaring Moon, and I just need 1 energy. I have Iono in hand. I would be able to use my Fez. I could thin the deck with Ultra Ball. Like, we have tons of answers to that. So we're kind of in a pretty winning situation at this point if they were to go that route, because we just need 1 energy, and then we could just take the knockout on the Honchkrow. But our opponent here really just flinging through the deck, got a full hand here. Gonna use Miracle Headset, got a Pokegear, just trying to thin the deck. Pokepad, they're going to get the Honchkrow. They need that energy to come back in this game and take the knockout. Do they have it? They don't have that energy. Had they had the energy, they would have been able to take the knockout on the Gouging Fire, bringing them back into this game. However, we were able to really showcase that we were dominant in that game, applying the pressure, taking the knockouts we need when we needed them, and just keep applying that pressure even in to one of our worst matchups. Let's get into the outro. All ready to move on for today's video. I'll put the deck list that I played in today's video in the description below, ready for copy paste into TCG Live. And of course, if you guys want the content I've been making stuff on the channel, definitely make sure to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.